शॉर्ट करते हैं। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी 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 जय गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवराधारी जय गिरिवराधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभा जय गिरिवराधारी गिरिवराधारी जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रजनरंजना जय यशोदानंदना जय ब्रजनरंजना जय यमुना तीरवरता कुंज बिहारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्दे अहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सह गणान्वितं तं सजीवं शद्वैतं अवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सह गणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओके सो आज हमारा
10 तक कर लिए थे हम लोग, 7.10 तक वी हैड फिनिश्ड।
ओके 7.10 तक ना, तो आज 7.10 तक कर ली तो 10 को रिव्यू करना या कैसे करना?
मे बी वी कैन स्टार्ट विद 10 एंड देन जस्ट अ रिकैप ऑन इट।
ओके वी स्टार्ट विद 10. ओके सो चैप्टर 7 चैप्टर 7 ना, फिर 10.
यस
ओके सो जहाँ तक स्क्रीन में दिख रहा है तो वी कैन जस्ट गो विद द संस्कृत फर्स्ट। बीजामं सर्वभूतानां
बीजामां
सर्वभूतानां
विद्धि पार्थ सनातनम्
Vidhi
Vidhipartha
Sanatanam
Sanatanam
Buddhir buddhi matam asmi.
Buddhi
Buddhir Buddhimatamsmi
Te te just te just vinam aham.
Tejas
Tejas Tejasvinamaham.
Swanam.
Okay, so let's go with the word to word. Bijam means the seed. Mam means me. Sarva Bhutanam of all living entities. Vidhi, try to understand. Partha, O son of Partha. Sanatanam, the original eternal. Buddhi, the intelligence. Buddhi Matam, of the intelligence. Asmi, I am. Tejas Provesh, Tejasvinam, of the powerful. Aham, I am. Okay, so someone can read the translation.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
Yes. So Krishna is because chapter is saying like the knowledge of the absolute. So it's like the you have to focus the what's the like this is more focusing on the what's the actually Krishna's position in this universe. So Krishna is saying that I am the original seed of all existence. This is a very big statement, right? I am the original seed of all existence. Looks like very Krishna can say anything, but this is if you see the word to word translation, this is very very original, very powerful statement. Means whatever you can see here, whatever incarnation you can see, whatever like the existence you can see, anything living or non-living, Krishna is the seed, right? And like the from the seed, like the tree came, right? But once the tree grow, we cannot find the seed, right? Seed is there in every part of the tree, right? The same thing, Krishna is there in the everywhere here. So Krishna is the original seed. That's why it's called as a form of the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, right? Like in the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, it's like the Garva. That is the seeds there. And he is from that seed, the whole universe came out. Brahma came out. That's why we can say from the Krishna's, the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu's from the navel on the lotus, Brahma got born, right? And then from the Brahma, so many Prajapati and so many entities came out from the Brahma only. So Krishna is the original seed of all existence, right? Once you read in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that how this universe came out, like the from the Pradhan, and it went to the like the modes of material nature worked on the Pradhan, and then it comes out like the false ego, and from false ego from the in like the many like the modes from the mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, the whole universe came out, mind came out, intelligence came out, many senses came out, all the demigods came out, and now we can see this universe, right? Of course now we human make it much more complicated. We made the AI and all these things. It's become further complicated, but this is the but actual seeds is there in form of the Pradhan. That's why Krishna as a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he is the original seed of this whole universe. That's why it's called Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So whatever we can see, he is the original seed, and he is the intelligence of the intelligent. Whatever we can see, people are talking so much like like so much intellectuality. All this intelligence is given to us to understand Krishna. Basically, that is the sole purpose of the intelligence, not for our economic development and not for our so-called enhancement. Those are sort of diversion. So the intelligence is given to us to understand Krishna. That's why it is given to us. So he is the intelligence because intelligence is also came out from him. Na? And whatever is the powerful man, like say that there's some like the very like the powerful man, like someone very like the Tejasvi, right? That's what the word is called. So that powerful man, the power is Krishna. So Krishna is sort of defining himself, what's his position in this world, so that we will understand him that he is the original seed or the original personality. Can somebody read the purport? Yes.
Bijam means seed. Krishna is the seed of everything. There are various living entities, movable and inert. Birds, beasts, men, and many other living creatures are moving living entities. Trees and plants, however, are inert. They cannot move but only stand. Every entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some of them are moving and some of them are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. As stated in Vedic literature, Brahman, or the supreme absolute truth, is that from which everything is emanating. Krishna is Parabrahman, the supreme spirit. Brahman is impersonal and Parabrahman is personal. Impersonal Brahman is situated in the personal aspect that is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, originally, Krishna is the source of everything. He is the root. As the root of a tree maintains the whole tree, Krishna, being the original root of all things, maintain everything in this material manifestation.
Yes, correct. This is also okay.
As this is also confirmed in the Vedic literature, Kathopanishad, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. He is the prime eternal among all eternals. He is the supreme living entity of all living entities, and he alone is maintaining all life. One cannot do anything without intelligence, and Krishna also says that he is the root of all intelligence. Unless a man is intelligent, he cannot understand the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna.
Yes, that's why that I said very beautifully described. That's why the intelligence, whatever intelligence is given to us, we should use it to understand the supreme personality of Lord Krishna and how he's the root of everything. If you consider Krishna in that way and worship Krishna in that devotion, we will understand how the things are happening, or how the things are going on, and we will understand many things in that regard. Because why we focus on Krishna devotion, why don't others? Because we are reaching something that is the supreme, that is the original, that is the seed. If we understand the seed, if we approach the root, we will understand everything, right? So Krishna is also the like the Krishna is the original root, so it maintains the whole tree. So if you understand that how the Krishna is, so everything will be maintained. So that's very important, that we should all focus on Bhagavad Gita and read Bhagavad Gita with in the mood of the devotion, and try to understand Krishna in the mood of devotion. And if you have our devotional mood, we will have the proper spiritual intelligence also to understand Krishna. Is it clear, or shall we discuss more on this?
Yeah, yeah. So Isme, I actually had when I was reading this, so few thoughts came into my mind. I just thought keep, and I wanted to discuss this in the class. So
Okay.
so I was wanting, matlab, since Chandresh Prabhu is also here to understand, I was trying to find a linkage of this verse and the verse, the fourth verse, which is, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha. So basically, is that any linkage? Because that those material inferior and the gross energies, and ultimately intelligence is also related to that. Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankar iti yamme mam. So that verse has some linkage. So that's the question number one. And if that is true, then probably this will follow. And second one, which was there in my mind, that if actually intelligence is given by, and Lord Krishna is the seed of all such intelligence, then is that why there is difference in intelligence? Because some people are more intelligent, some people are less intelligent. That is also a fact. So what causes that difference? So that's the second question. And the third question which comes to my mind, that if and the verses which follow, if intelligence and likewise the other uh, subtle energies, if they are actually given by Lord Krishna, then effectively it means that people should not be jealous of other. If somebody is jealous or envious of another intelligent person, then actually does it mean that we are actually envious or jealous of Lord Krishna himself? These were the thoughts which came to my mind, and that's all.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's like the very good, like the insights, and it's very good. I so first, like the your question number, I will try to answer as much as I can. Okay, so it's like the first, like the fourth, number fourth sloka. Yes, all this all these eight constituents, like the first is the panch mahabhut, like the earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, and there are the three more called the mind, intelligence, and the false ego. These all constitute the material energy. This will be clear when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, that how this universe is created. Yes, so these are part of our universe. So how this universe is created, then from the false ego, like the intelligence came in the mode of, like the passion, and senses also followed after intelligence, right? And then from the false ego, like the mind came in the mode of the goodness, right? And also we have all the demigods, devtas, they also followed after that. And from false ego, in the mode of ignorance, all these panch mahabhut came. These are like inert, earth, fire, water. Of course, the first is the earth, like the first is the ether, then it comes with the air, then it comes with the fire, water. And as we go on, the more properties are added. Like ether has only property of the space, like only just XYZ space, nothing else. Air, as and that has the property only with the sound, like sound can propagate uh, in that ether. Air brings one more property called touch, right? We can actually touch the air. Space we cannot touch it. Then the fire make one more. Fire has a shape. Air doesn't have a fire has some figure shape, right? And so that's added. Of course, it has a touch also. Fire also you can touch. Fire take its own space. But whatever they have, the previous element is carry one more property. Fire. They have the some figure. And water, of course, water have the both space, touch, and figure also. But water have the taste. We can taste the water. Water can satisfy. And finally, we have earth. It has all the five properties, but it's added one more called the smell. Earth has a fragrance. So as the from the shuttle to the gross camps, is adding the more features. Of course, from this earth, water, air, we make some chemical. We can make so many things here and there, and it become much more complicated. So this is how this universe is created. So Krishna tells that these all are my eight very principal constituents of my separate material energy. Right. Of course, here on the 7 also, so the 7.10 also, Krishna is saying that I am the original seed of all existence. That's why this is very big statement. Whatever you can see there, like the Sarva Bhutana, whatever is the you can see living and non-living entities, moving or not movable, right? He is the original seed, because in the mode of ignorance also, from the false yuga, we have all this earth, water, fire, ether, all this came, right? So those are the sort of inert things, but this also came from Krishna. That's why I say, like, that's why Srila Prabhupada said, okay, you also have Krishna, he can see in the pillar, right? And finally Nrsimhadev came out. We saw all this in this movie, because Krishna is everywhere. Nah, that's why it's called Vishnu. Anu means he's in the every element, like Vishnu, the whole element. So he's everywhere in every small particle. It is there, Vishnu. So that's why. So this statement, the origin seed of all existence. Yes, this is connected with that sloka number 4, because these are the very principal 8 constituents. Of course, we have the few more. We have the demigods, we have the senses and all that, but these are very principal constituents we have of this material energy. So of course, this is connected. That's the one. And what was your question? Okay, why we have someone has the more intelligence, someone has less intelligence? It's all depend on our consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita, I think we must have read, depending on our consciousness, like the how much we are captured in the Maya, so that in that proportion the intelligence is developed to us. Like the animal, he's very much in the ignorance, right? So animal have almost very less intelligence. Of course, some of them are little bit, but very less. Those are not those intelligence just used for our their own survival. Human have, of course, bit more than animal. That's why it's human. But of course, in the human also there is some gradation, right? Some are more intelligent, some are less intelligent. It will depend what sort of the illusion he is captured. Like it is compared with the wood. If the wood have lots of moisture, if you fire that wood, it will have more smoke, right? And if you use the dry wood, if you fire it up in that, there is very less smoke. Same with the intelligence has the variation that it will depend how much dirtiness we have in our consciousness. So in that proportion, intelligence is given, and also what sort of intelligence is given. But somebody use that intelligence for our economic development. Let's suppose we have so many inventions, this and that. That's fine. So means he has misused that intelligence. Maybe in the next birth he have less intelligence because he has not used the prop, uh, he has not done the proper use of the intelligence. That is to understand Krishna. That's the main purpose of the intelligence. So of course, based on their past karma reaction and all this, the intelligence has been given, and in some that proportion it is given. So material world is also very perfectly arranged. Nothing you cannot escape from your past deed or whatever we are doing it. Whatever we do, we will get the result based on that. So yeah, that's why we have the gradation of the intelligence. And third question you was the how much we should be jealous of not. Yeah. There's no point of the being jealous. And intelligence is not the only criteria. We can have the devotion. Once you have the devotion, Krishna said that just surrender to me. That was a very big statement. I think we read in chapter maybe later on. Very in the Madhvacharya Sampradaya, this is the number one sloka. It is said that maybe as you just surrender to me. If you surrender to Krishna, whatever intelligence you have, good intelligence and then qualities you have, that will be preserved. Plus, the more good qualities will be provided to you. So if someone has a less intelligent, but he has a pure devotion in the heart, he is much more better than someone who has a more intelligent, but that he is misusing that intelligence in some other purpose. So that's why this devotion marg or the devotion is open for all, not only to India, across all the countries. No. That's why people are practicing Krishna consciousness in all over the world, Africa, Russia, Japan, Korea, China, everywhere. Right? We should not differentiate, like, because devotees are everywhere. And based on their intelligence, they are doing, but more than that, they are focusing on the devotion, and they are hearing all this Bhagavad Katha, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and then slowly, their spiritual intelligence has been growing up with the association with the devotees. So yes, somebody has less intelligent, no problem. He can whatever he has understanding, he should put his whole focus on Krishna, and based on of his understanding about Krishna, his the intelligence will be developed. But basically, the purpose of intelligence is also to love for Krishna. If you have intelligence but you have not done the love to Krishna, then that sort of intelligence is also just you're in your jnana sort of pandit, like jnana yogi, like the Ravan. He is a very intelligent, but he has not done a devotion to the Lord Ram. He has not understood the Lord Ram. So there is no point of such intelligence, right? So intelligence is meant to the devotion to Krishna, to understand the Krishna, and to love to Krishna. That's why we should all love to Krishna and do our devotional practice. Hear about Krishna, do the kirtan, do the chanting. They are very basic, and try to be in mood with Krishna, in love with Krishna. And in that mood, we should serve to all the devotees or people in general, right? So that way we'll get more intelligence, and with that intelligence, we will love. We will develop more loving service to the Krishna. I hope I have answered you with
Thank you. It was very well explained. Thank you.
Okay, if no further question or comment or any sort of the reflection, we can go to the next sloka. Okay, sloka number 11. Someone can read the Sanskrit,
Yeah.
or we can read it together.
You can read or we can follow and listen.
Okay, balam balavatam chaham
Balam
Balam balavatam
chaham
Kama Raga Vivarjitam
Kamaraga Vivarjitam
Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu
Dharma Aviruddho Bhuteshu
Kamo Asmi Bharata Sabha.
Kamosmi Bharatarshabha.
Bharat Vasha.
Okay, we should read the synonyms quickly. Balam, strength. Balavatam, of the strong. Cha and Aham, I am. Kama, passion. Raga and attachment. Vivarjitam, devoid of. Dharma, aviruddha, not against the religious principles. Bhutesu, in all beings. Kama, sex life. Asmi, I am. Bharata Risabha, all Lord of Bharatas. Okay, translation. Nagaisima, someone can read.
I am the strength of the strong, devote of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contradictory to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas.
Okay,
Bharat.
so Krishna is further okay, let's see the purpose. It's a small one. Yes.
The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life, according to religious principle, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to take their offspring Krishna conscious.
Yes. So Krishna is now defining himself
Hmm.
in our daily life that he is the strength of the strong person. Someone who is say, okay, that's a strong person. So he is that strength. And that strength should be applied to protect the weak. The only point of someone having a strong to protect someone who is weak. That's only point. Not to show off, not to put not to bully others, not to become very much aggressive towards others. No, this is not for personal aggression. That's why I say it's the purpose. So the if you are strong, so your true strong is to, and your true strength is to protect the weak. Like the Kshatriyas are strong, so then Kshatriyas protect their citizens, right? If you are strong and then if you are not protecting the weak, then there is no point of being strong. So Krishna is that sort of strength. Means he tried to protect for the weak. If you have that uh, strength, so Krishna is that strength. Good. And and Krishna is also like sex life, like the karma, like the that is according to the religious principle. Okay, it's not for whatever porn life they are going on. No, it is for the sex life. Is actually that we should do the sex activities to have the good children. Right? That's the only purpose of the having a sex. So we should understand how the sex life should be there, and how to do it, and when to do it. This is all written in our shastra, in our religious scriptures. So if somebody is having that sex life or that grihastha life in a generic word, so Krishna is that life. For what? To have the first good children, and once children come, we should it's our become the responsibility to make that children Krishna conscious, right? Then that children, that's the best gift we can give to our children, to make them Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there are so many, the diversion in this world, and we should give them the proper education to how to become the devotee of Krishna. That's what the Prahlad Maharaj did when he was child. He's even like the demonic children. He's telling to become the devotee of Hari in a kingdom which is dominated by his father, Hiranyakashipu, right? That's his natural qualities. So it's very important for the children to become Krishna consciousness from the day one, as soon as possible. So this is responsibility of the parents first, to use the sex life to have the proper children, means healthy children, and then grow up children to make them to and to make them Krishna like the conscious. So Krishna is that sort of the sex life, and Krishna is the like the strength that will protect the weak. Krishna is that strength. That's why Krishna called Deen Bandhu. Deen Bandhu means someone who is super poor. है ना? Yeah, Dinanath, right? He is the friend of who is super poor. Someone who don't have anything, So there should be someone who can provide to them, right? That's the Krishna. So whatever strength we have, we should use that strength to protect the weak. So if we do that, then we will justify our strength, right? It's not to bully them, not to show off to the other, and not for any personal aggression. That's the demonic person do these sort of things. Yeah, this is quite clear. Anyone have any questions, comment, or any reflection, or some?
नहीं, इसमें जैसे इसमें हर चीज में अच्छा अच्छा बताया है कि आई एम दिस एंड काम में भी अच्छा काम मैं हूँ, मतलब बुरा काम मैं नहीं हूँ। बट ये बाद में तो ये भी बोलते हैं कि हर हर चीज भी मैं ही हूँ, मतलब एवरीथिंग रेस्ट अपॉन मी, एंड वट एवर इज बोर्न आउट ऑफ इग्नोरेंस इज ऑल्सो मी, ऑल दीज एनर्जीज। तो बेकार वाला पार्ट, मतलब पर्पस ऑफ दिस इज टू अंडरस्टैंड, सी कृष्णा एवरीवेयर, सी हिज हैंड एवरीवेयर, राइट? तो अगर हम कुछ खराब देखें, उसमें भी देखें, मतलब अब जब
Krishna, Krishna, yes.
हम्म,
Krishna sanctioned it, right? Somebody have a bad desire. Let's suppose someone got the human body. Let's suppose after so many yonis cross and all these things, after so many tapasya, he got the human body, but still he has a bad sex life desire. That's not for the having a healthy child, just for their mental desire. Of course, the bodies are there, sensors are there, so Krishna facilitate them, and depending on their desire. Of course, that person also, the suffer their like the consequences, right? If somebody is doing too much meat eating and somebody like the bullying others, let's suppose, like strength wise, of course that strength is his physical strength is there, right? If Krishna want, nobody can sustain even for the 1 second, even the body, the whole body tantra is working according to the Krishna's strength, right? But he is bullying that body to punish the weak, right? Doing the personal aggregation. Of course, so he is using Krishna's energy in that sense, but his free will, right? He is bound to suffer that the consequences. Maybe he got that human body after doing so many tapasya. Maybe that if first was the animal, this and that, so many yonis. Funny he got the human body, but he is so foolish that he was after getting the human body, he's doing all these foolish things, right? So he will suffer accordingly. Maybe the next yoni he will be some animal or something, and then somebody else will make him suffer. This is all the karma, personal action reactions going on in this material life. So Krishna is telling us to how to come out of this. So human body is very much important. That's why we have. Although in past we can say somebody like the Garuda, who is a animal like the bird body, right? Like the Garuda Maharaj, he also become devotee. So it's not like the only human can become the devotee. Garuda, like the Lord Ram makes all this Hanuman, like the monkeys, to become his devotee. So that is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he passes through the jungle, all the animals are also dancing and doing the Krishna Kirtan with him. Those are exceptions, but in more or less humans' body are basically more suitable, like the physical body, to become the devotee, right? So if someone get the human body, he should immediately work in the devotional area, right? But he is not doing. Of course, Krishna never touch anyone's free will. That's why we have so many variation. Otherwise, every will be just one kind, right? So Krishna never touch anyone's free will. So depending on their free will and their association and their whatever their understanding is there, so then he got that sort of the desire and that sort of activity he's doing. Of course, Krishna sanctioned it, depending of his material, like things. But of course, if that guy become is overusing it, that's why then we have so many problems is happening, right? So depending on their material condition, Krishna sanctioned it, but it's not Krishna always sanctioned. If he is overusing it, then it will not work, right? So that's why people are having this sort of thing. People after that they are taking like the drugs to make their sexual life much more powerful, and then they got the health issue, like this and that, right? So Krishna, that's why it's very important everybody to understand Bhagavad Gita and try to be devotion. Otherwise, this sort of the desire has no ending, and it will just makes you kill and kill. Not only kill in the next life, also if you give you to the some different yoni, it will drag you to some different yoni. That's why in this human form of the life, we should devote ourselves in Krishna consciousness as much as we can. We should put our fair and honest try. Of course, I will not say that we will become the pure Bhagavad after we will become the Bhakt Prahlad or the Hanumanji, that sort of the pure devotee. But we should give our fair and honest try. Rest we can left it to the Krishna. Is that answer? Question?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So, any other comment? If not, then we should go to the next one. That is sloka number 12. ये चैव सात्विका भावा
ये चैव सात्विका भावा
राजसा तमसाश्च यते
राजसस्तमसश्च ये
मत्त इवेति तान् विद्धि
मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि
नात्वा अहं तेषु ते मयि.
न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि.
Okay, quickly word to word. Ye all which cha and eva certainly sattva vikaha in goodness, bhava state of being, rajasah in the mode of passion, tamasa in the mode of ignorance, cha also ye all which mata from me eva certainly iti thus tan those with thee try to know na not tu but aham I tesu in them te they mai in me. Okay, translation someone please.
Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, but they, on the contrary, are within me.
Very smart, very beautiful. Purport, we short one, we can go for the purport also.
Yeah, all material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna. But Krishna is not subject to the material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, does not affect him. This is one of the special characteristics of Bhagwan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, very, very important sloka. So first, like the whatever you can see in this world is all are manifested by my energy. So as I said, from the pradhan, which is the spiritual element, the seed. Okay, uh, when the Mahavishnu glances over the material nature, means mode of passion, goodness, and ignorance, just like glance, just like a smile. With that smile, this whole universe got created. How? By the action of the three modes: passion, ignorance, and goodness. Right? We have the sattoguna, rajogun, tamoguna. Right? We have with other three gunas, and all these three gunas, the whole universe is created. As I said, from the ignorance, the all this our Panch Mahabhutas came, right? That is called the sense object. From the passion, like the intelligence came, and the senses are came. These our five senses came, right? Like eye, ear, nose. This is the five senses came. And from the mode of goodness, the mind came, and the demigods came, and all that. So this, and then of course the demigod like the Brahma came. Then from Brahma he created like the Prajapati from his mind, and then from Prajapati's many creation camps. So sorry, the many children, many the offspring came. Like then he created the Manu, right? And then he created the lady element, the wife of the Manu. And then from the Manu, the Manav came. We have the first Manu, Shambha Muni. If you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have very beautiful stories how the whole civilization came into the picture. At that point of time, the whole earth was submerged in the ocean, right? So if people are coming, they need some place to live. Then Varaha incarnation came, and then he lifted the whole earth on the top of the ocean, and that's why then the kingdom started. The first Manu, the king started, then his children, and his children. So many dynasties, and then Kashyap came from the as a very premier Manu. Then so many like the birds, there's like the so many different sort of snakes, like there's so many different kind of the creatures come. So this all created, but in the beginning this all created by whom is all manifested by his energy, mode of goodness, passion, and then ignorance from Pradhan to the false ego, and then we have all this manifestation happen. So, in one sense, but he's also independent. It's not about that he's involved. Just his glances, just his smile, make them the mode of goodness. All this guna make them work, but he is independent. He is not under control of the material nature. It's not about material nature who is controlling everything, either in form of goodness, passion, or the ignorance. He's not under that control, but they are within him. They are within Krishna. So that's his position. That all the gunas, he's not controlled by guna. If the Krishna become angry, it's not become now the anger came, and then we should not think in that way. Okay, nah. Krishna is not controlled by them. Krishna is not under of this any of the mode of goodness. This all of these moodness are within him. So whatever activities we are doing, we think that we are doing, but no, we are actually doing under the influence of the modes of mental nature, either in the moodness or in the sort of the passion or in the ignorance. These are the gunas are making us to work, right? Of course, depending on our desire, it's got sanction, and we got that sort of the intelligence and that kind of understanding in the mind. But this is we are getting influenced by these three modes of mental nature. But Krishna, on the contrary, is not influenced. Krishna is independent. So that's why in the purport it is said that he is nirguna, means all these gunas, means modes of material nature, satogun, rajagun, tamagun, he is not affected by them, although it came from him. So this is one of the major characteristics of the Bhagavan. So very, very important. So we should, why these are being said to, we should not understand Krishna as just as an ordinary person who is doing, out of lust, doing this Ras Leela with the gopis, and and he's a tricky guy who tricked two Kauravas to make to win the war. This is our mind, right? Our mind make us to try to make us to understand in that way, right? Krishna is a tricky guy. Krishna can also steal. He can lie also. All those things. But no, we should not understand Krishna in that way, and that's why it's very important to understand the past times and keep glories of Krishna from the devotees. So Krishna is defining himself who he is. He is a nirguna. Everything came from him, are all manifested by all these three modes of material nature, by the churning out of the false ego, but he is not under their control, but they are within him. So that's the main thing. We need to understand Krishna in that way. Then we have we will love proper devotional service to the Krishna. So we should use our intelligence to understand Krishna in that way. Of course. And that intelligence will not come automatically. We should first develop the devotion mindset towards Krishna. How? By the chanting, doing kirtan and all that. And then that intelligence will come, and then we can understand Krishna in that way. So Krishna is here stating himself that who is he? Maybe more such definition will come in the future slokas. But anyone have any questions or comment or anything sort of the reflection?
One question, Jyoti ji.
Yes.
So like भगवान ने इससे पहले कहा कि पंच महाभूत और मन बुद्धि अहंकार उन्हीं की एनर्जी है, राइट? मतलब पराशक्ति है. तो ये गुडनेस, पैशन, इग्नोरेंस is separate from those 8, or it is just a combination, it is getting created out of the combination of these material energies?
नो, ये सेपरेट है। ये 3 जो गुणास है ना, ये बहुत हायर में आता है। ये आपको 3 गुणास का जो हायरार्की है इन दिस मटेरियल थिंग्स इज वेरी हाई, because of from these three, like out of these 3 gunas, when this churn out on the false ego, right, then we have the, like the, if the, like the ignorance is working on the false ego, we have this Panch Mahabhut camp, right? This was the ether, air, all those things. When the passion churning out on the false ego, then you have the intelligence camp and the senses camp, right? When the goodness churn out from the false ego, then the mind camp. Mind has a very high status, right? Mind camp and all the devtas camp, demigods camp. So these are separate, but all are the material constituents. All are basically all the Krishna's energy. This here, these gunas are separate from this, whatever you say. Those are the manifestation, the material energy manifestation coming out of the, like the false ego, and with the combination with the passion, goodness, and then ignorance. As I said, how the universe is created, once, like the Mahavishnu glances over the material nature, means 3 gunas. So that glances just worked to have this, because of that glance, this whole the universe is created.
Got it. So basically, ये modes mix with the matter,
Yeah,
and
Pradhan, you can say, yeah.
behaves differently.
Yes, correct. We are different, and the different kind of the products can.
और ये प्रधान क्या है ज्योति जी?
Pradhan, you can say, like the spiritual element or Krishna ka element hai, from the Mahavishnu. These are the very rooted, you can say, basic material element, like that. This is the spiritual element, because false ego is still the material element, right? So, but from Pradhan, you can say this is the original egg, you can say, of this material universe, the original egg.
Okay. From प्रधान सब कुछ है.
हाँ, सबको प्रधान से है, बिल्कुल. Here you can read it clearly in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when how the world is created. Very, very, very. This is very scientific. It's very interesting for, because we're all engineers, so we will use our intelligence here to make it understand. This is the Sankhya philosophy, and how the world is going to destroy it by the 11 Rudras. There's a very clear-cut scientific definition is there. How the Lord Shiva's 11 Rudras came, and when the whole universe will get like destroyed, right? So they are the 3 sort of the destruction we have. You can read in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 3 sort of the destruction. One is called the partial destruction. When the it's the end of Kalpa and Brahma goes to the sleep, right? We did some katha, like Brahma ji so rahe the, fir Madhu ka kaita aake unko jaga diye. We can read all these kathas in the different stories, right? So, but because like the earth, in the daytime we wake up and nighttime we sleep, right? Same thing happened in the Brahma. In his nighttime he is going to sleep. So when he sleep, whole the universe except the Brahmaloka, including the Swarga also, they all submerge in the water, right? स्वर्ग भी also चला जाता है, धरती भी चला जाती है. सिर्फ ब्रह्मलोका में हम ब्रह्मा जी अपना सोते हैं. That's called the night of the Brahma, called the one kalpa. So whatever is the daytime of period, same with the night time period, right? And by the way, this one kalpa is very, very big, but this it has 1,000 maha yuga, and one Mahayuga is Satyuga, Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Treta Yuga. This is combination called one Mahayuga. Multiply by 1,000 is the period of one Kalpa. That's the 1 day of Brahma. And same period we have 1 day of 1 night of the Brahma. So that's called the partial destruction of the universe, because Sorgas and Earth, they all merge in the water. That's number 1. The second called the elemental destruction of the world, when the 11 Rudras came and when Brahma died, when the Brahma whole lifespan happened, and then how the universe is created. Same in the reverse order, how they is going to be the destroyed, and then finally come to the Pradhan. Right? It's sort of the, you can say, sort of the reverse process. That is called the elemental destruction. And third is called the complete destruction. So what's the complete destruction? that once you become spiritual, you don't see matter. You can see Krishna everywhere. So that's called complete distraction, right? So once you become like the Bhakt Prahlad, he can see Krishna everywhere. That's why he and Krishna say, okay, where's your Lord? Lord, her. You can see he's everywhere. He can see, is he also in the pillar? He said, yes, he's also in the pillar. So he just, okay, let me kill that Lord Hari situated in
That
the
is
pillar.
personal distraction. Personal. मतलब तुम्हारे लिए सिर्फ
हाँ,
डिस्ट्रॉय
तुम्हारे
हो
लिए वो तुम्हारे लिए, क्योंकि तुम उस स्पिरिचुअल लेवल पे चले गए हो, क्योंकि तुम्हें हर जगह तुम्हें भगवान ही दिख रहे हैं, तो तुम्हारे लिए
गया।
मैटर एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं कर रहा. That's called complete distraction, or you can say permanent distraction. So anyway, this sort of the material Maya is created, of course, how it's been created, but it's all manifested by his energy through the material mode of goodness, passion, and then ignorance. But we should not understand that Krishna is depending on it. Krishna is nirguna. Krishna is independent, but everything comes out from him. So all those things is within him. Okay. I hope I answered it clearly. Or any questions?
Yes. Yes, Jyoti.
Okay, we can you move ahead, or someone wanted to have some other questions, or maybe some other mind, some other feeling they can share, or I can move ahead.
नहीं,
Okay.
एक जगह ये भी बताया है, वर्ल्ड डज नॉट नो मी, कोई मुझे समझ नहीं सकता है, चाहे तुम जितना दिमाग लगा लो, कुछ भी कर लो, और फिर बोल रहे हैं कि दिमाग भी लगाओ तो उसी में लगाओ, मतलब एक
नहीं, हाँ, ये गुड क्वेश्चन है. इनफैक्ट कृष्णा बोले टू अंडरस्टैंड कृष्णा इज वेरी वेरी रेयर एक्चुअली, क्योंकि हम लोग के अंदर एक एक ठहराव हो जाता है, एक ये हो जाता है कि चलो हमने तो यहाँ तक तो समझ लिया, तो वी दैट नो कृष्णा, है ना. तो एक वो जैसे आपका वो माइंड आया, तो आपका माइंड फ्रेम्ड हो गया उसी समय. तो कृष्णा के लिए आपके लिए हमेशा डिवोशन होना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाई बीइंग अ डिवोटी इज द ओनली वे टू अंडरस्टैंड कृष्णा. Not only understanding that you can control Krishna also, like the gopis, they control Krishna, right? Krishna has to come for the rasa leela. So it's not only just to understand, you can control Krishna also. Krishna can be only controlled by the devotees. That's the thing. So only devotion you can understand and have some sort of the leverage on Krishna. Only so that the devotion. That's the only way. That's why there's so much focus on devotion. And how to do the devotion, we know the process, like chanting and seeing the Krishna katha, sorry, the hearing the Krishna katha, associating with the devotees, and all those things, like doing the kirtan. But if you start this process, Krishna said there are only few person who actually do all these things, right? This is also true, right? How many the millions of the population of this whole world, if you just see human population, out of that how many percentage are like us, who are actually discussing the Krishna consciousness, actually discussing it, right? Very few percentage. And by the way, I have not included the other creature like ant, mosquito, and animal. I have not included that soul. I have just included only human beings, right? Out of so many crores of human beings, only few persons are actually trying to become the devotee, right? And out of that, who has the pure devotion and then pure understanding and pure love for Krishna, they will actually understand Krishna. So Krishna is telling us to make understand that it's not so easy to understand him. You need the pure dedication and pure devotion to understand Krishna. But our intelligence is only used to understand Krishna, because there's no other use. That's why Krishna says that even if someone falls, let's suppose I tried my best, but I didn't understand Krishna fully. I did little bit progress, but it's not full. So no problem. You will have in the next life, you have either you live, you have birth in the devotee's family, or some good brahmana's family, or some opulence family, so that in the next life you have more better chance to uplift your consciousness. I think that's why Arjuna asked this question. So whatever we have, we should always try to become the devotee of Krishna. It doesn't matter whether we'll be successful or not. That's okay, but we should give our honest and fair chance.
We have to understand that Krishna cannot be understood.
Yes, yes.
You understand? और ये भी
Krishna
is
Aparushe, na, is avigya, beyond intelligence, beyond mind, words. So we have to understand so that we can actually start practicing. Hamara, we, to the extent we understand, to that extent we practice with conviction. To the extent we practice with conviction, we develop love for Krishna and we go back to God. हम लोगों को जितना चाहिए बस उतना समझना है, बहुत ज्यादा भी नहीं. ये भी नहीं, एक्चुअली शास्त्र में ये भी निषेध है कि we try to read lot of scriptures. That is also not considered good for devotional life. क्योंकि बहुत ज्यादा जब हम पढ़ने लग जाएंगे ना, तो we think that we are पंडित, है ना, and we will be bitten by the bug of pride and false ego, which is detrimental for our Krishna consciousness, which Krishna does not like. And that will actually make us go away from Krishna. So the knowledge, more knowledge will make us go away, may make us go away from Krishna as well. है ना, एग्जाम्पल है इसका कोई?
Ravan,
People like Ravan and all.
because he was Mahapandit in terms of, I would say, knowledge and शास्त्रों का ज्ञान, या उसको बहुत नॉलेज था, बट उसकी ईगो नहीं, उसको प्राइड नहीं, उसको एरोगेंस नहीं, उसको.
हाँ बिल्कुल, रावण तो चलो एक बिल्कुल ही डीमन है, ऐसे डिवोटीज में भी.
हाँ.
So it's a very, see, going to Krishna means we have to be very simple and humble. We have to be straightforward, very innocent. Then we'll go back to, जैसे जीसस ने भी बोला ना, only meek and humble will inherit the kingdom of God. तो जो लोग बहुत शातिर हैं, जो लोग बहुत सोचते हैं, दिमाग लगाना है, they are duplicitous, और ये बहुत ज्यादा ज्ञान से ये आ जाती हैं टेंडेंसीज. तो इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत ज्ञान अच्छा है, उतना ज्ञान जितना हमको which helps move towards Krishna in the right direction, है ना, and which does not make us loaded with ego और pride कि अरे देखो मेरे को कितना आता है, इन लोगों को तो कुछ भी नहीं आता, आई एम अ पंडित, है ना. जैसे ऐसे बहुत सारे इंस्टेंसेस हैं, जैसे अगर आप ब्रह्मा जी का ही देखो, ब्रह्म विमोहन लीला, है ना, ब्रह्मा जी तो डिवोटी हैं और ब्रह्मा जी ने सब क्रिएट किया है ये, है ना. इनफैक्ट क्रिएशन में जैसे अल्केश जी बोल रहे हैं, है ना, 10 सन्स ऑफ ब्रह्मा है, नारद, वशिष्ठ, दक्ष, फिर अत्रि, पुलहा, क्रतु, ऐसे करके 10 सन्स हैं जिनसे पूरा का पूरा क्रिएशन हुआ है. फिर उसके बाद धर्म अधर्म है ना. जैसे किसी ने पूछा कि अच्छा अधर्म कैसे, सन, लाइट कहाँ से आती है, एब्सेंस ऑफ सन इज, और एब्सेंस ऑफ लाइट इज डार्कनेस, तो डार्कनेस का भी सोर्स लाइट में ही है है ना. तो भगवान के, ये ब्रह्मा जी के राइट साइड से धर्म आता है, जहाँ पे परमात्मा होते हैं, राइट चेस्ट से, और बैक से अधर्म आता है, पीछे से. और ऐसे ही फिर अज्ञान वृत्तियां, तो ऐसे पूरा क्रिएशन है. क्यों हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे थे, इससे पहले क्या पॉइंट चल रहा था? हाँ, प्राइड.
थ्री मोड्स ऑफ,
हाँ, तो ब्रह्मा जी जो हैं उनका तो बॉडी इंटेलिजेंस का बना है. He does not have intelligence. His body itself is made of subtle element intelligence. सोचो, और उनके 4 दिमाग है, कितना इंटेलिजेंस होगा उनमें. He also got bewildered. He thought that, oh, I am Brahma and I will test Krishna. ये भगवान है कि नहीं, ये तो मुझे बच्चा ही लग रहा है ना, क्योंकि कृष्णा लिव्स वेरी सिंपली. सो दैट एक्चुअली bewildered ब्रह्मा कि अरे ये भगवान कैसे हो सकता है. ही इज जस्ट गोइंग अराउंड with his friends like any normal child does, है ना. ये तो उनके मुंह से खा रहे हैं, उनके साथ खेल रहे हैं. How can he be God? और जिसका मैं पुरुष सूक्ता जिसके लिए पढ़ता हूँ, he is like a such a opulent personality. ये तो वो नहीं लग रहे. तो कृष्णा ने ब्रह्मा को भी विमोहित कर दिया. Why? Because he wanted to then test. So the point is we have to understand that Krishna cannot be understood. और ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ हम नहीं समझ सकते. पंथास्तु कोटि शतवत्सर संप्रगम्यो वायु रथापि मनसो मुनि पुंगवानाम. मुनि पुंगवानाम मतलब बेस्ट ऑफ द philosophers, बहुत ही जिनका सूक्ष्म इंटेलिजेंस है. they also cannot touch Krishna by intelligence. Krishna can only be known by pure undiluted unalloyed devotional service. उससे फिर भगवान पूर्णतः भक्त के वश में आ जाते हैं। जैसे जैसे यशोदा माई, गोपीज, ये लोग कोई बहुत ज्ञानवान थोड़ी नहीं है, बट इनमें प्रेम बहुत है भगवान के लिए, विदाउट एनी टिंज ऑफ फॉल्स ईगो एंड प्राइड। दैट्स व्हाट कॉन्कर्स कृष्णा। ज्ञान के तो, ज्ञान से भगवान कभी नहीं हम पा सकते ना, क्योंकि ज्ञान से हम लोगों को प्राइड, एरोगेंस, ये सब आता है। तो हमको क्या चाहिए? हमको
प्रेम।
प्रेम चाहिए, हमको सिंप्लिसिटी चाहिए, ह्यूमिलिटी चाहिए कि अरे कृष्ण मैं कुछ नहीं जानता, यू आर गिविंग मी इंटेलिजेंस। अब मैं क्या, आप जो मुझे दे रहे हो उसी को मैं आपको दिखा के क्या पॉइंट प्रूव करूं? कृष्ण ने क्या बोला है? बुद्धिर बुद्धिमताम अस्मि तेजस तेजस्वी नाम हम। जो पावरफुल आदमी है उसकी पावर में हूँ, जो इंटेलिजेंस है उसकी जो इंटेलिजेंट है उसकी इंटेलिजेंस में हूँ, है ना, जो ऑपुलेंट है उसके ऑपुलेंस में हूँ। तो मैं वो भगवान का ही चीज भगवान को दिखा के क्या उनको प्रूव करूंगा, है ना। मैं बस एक चीज दिखा सकता हूँ जो very specifically Radharani has given me. What is that? That drop of love that I have for Krishna. Only with that I can satisfy and please Krishna. That we have to understand. Knowledge is good for, है ना, एक लेवल तक नॉलेज अच्छा है, बिकॉज दैट नॉलेज विल हेल्प अस टेक टू द पाथ ऑफ कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, कि जब करूं, अच्छा क्यों जब करना चाहिए, हाँ ये चलो ठीक है जब करूं, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। बट आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हेन वी गेट प्यूरिफाइड, वी स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग लव फॉर कृष्णा, देन ये ज्ञान, वैराग्य, तप, these are all secondary principles. These are not the core of devotional service. Core of devotional service is love for Krishna. और वो कैसे होगा? जब हम प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। हरे कृष्णा। सॉरी अल्केश जी, कंटिन्यू।
very
थोड़ा
good,
ये
very good, very
पॉइंट
nice.
थोड़ा मुझे लगा कि ये बोलना चाहिए, इसलिए आई जस्ट इंटरजेक्टेड, सॉरी। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank
एक
you.
वो भी एग्जाम्पल है, वो आई थिंक चैतन्य महाप्रभु का जिससे डिस्कशन हो रहा था, लाइक ही वाज नॉट इंटरप्रेटिंग द श्लोक्स, ही सेड इट्स
हाँ बहुत अच्छा, वेरी गुड। कौन थे वो, बोलो।
सर्वभौम भट्टाचार्य।
हाँ वेरी गुड। अभिषेक अग्रवाल बढ़िया पढ़ रहा है लगता है आजकल। वेरी गुड पॉइंट। सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य क्या थे? ही वॉज अ ज्ञानी, ही वॉज अ निर्गुण भक्त, अव्यक्त, मतलब ये ही वॉज एन इम्पर्सनलिस्ट। तो उसने बोला कि अरे क्या आप मेरी बात सुन रहे हो कि नहीं? 18 दिन तक ही हर्ड, महाप्रभु ने चुपचाप सुना उनके इंटरप्रिटेशंस। फिर महाप्रभु ने कहा क्या आप, सब कुछ, एवरीथिंग इज सो क्लियर व्हाट कृष्णा इज सेइंग, बट यू आर कवरिंग दैट क्लियर नॉलेज विद योर इंटरप्रिटेशन। सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य को बड़ा दुख हुआ, क्योंकि ज्ञानियों को अगर बोल दो कि आपके ज्ञान में कमी है तो दे फील वेरी मच पेन। तो उन्होंने बोला अरे क्या तुम 24 साल का बच्चा मुझे बताएगा? हाँ? महाप्रभु ने फिर जब बताना शुरू किया आत्मराम अस्चा मुनियो, वो वर्ड्स को महाप्रभु ने 64 टाइप से बताया, 64 एक वर्ड्स को। तो वो भी ज्ञानी, तो महाप्रभु ने ज्ञानियों को ज्ञान से नतमस्तक किया। क्योंकि वही एंटीडोज है ना, पॉइजन का एंटीडोज भी पॉइजन ही होता है। तो जब वो सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य ने सुना कि ये ऐसा कैसे, ये इसको तो, ये तो कोई नॉर्मल आदमी नहीं कर सकता, ही इज नॉट अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, नॉर्मल ह्यूमन, तो ये भगवान ही है। फिर उसने वो ज्ञान का, जब महाप्रभु ने अपना महात्म्य दिखाया कि, है ना, ज्ञानियों को ज्ञान से नतमस्तक किया, तो फिर तब सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य ने दंडवत किया कि अरे बाप रे, ये तो, है ना, ही इज नॉट अ। फिर उनको फिर बाद में रियलाइजेशन हुआ कि एक्चुअली ही इज कृष्णा ओनली, इज नॉट डिफरेंट। ऐसे बहुत सारे केसेस हैं महाप्रभु के लीला में, तो बहुत है ना, कृष्ण के लीला में भी काफी है। जैसे इंद्रदेव का है, ब्रह्मदेव का है, महाप्रभु के लीला में सार्वभौम भट्टाचार्य, प्रकाशानंद सरस्वती का है, देवानंद पंडित का है, बहुत सारे हैं ऐसे। तो भगवान को ये देखो, कोई अगर इग्नोरेंस में है, उसे पता नहीं है, ही इज ईटिंग मीट, डूइंग नॉनसेंस, सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन, breaking the regulative principles, doing sinful activities, that is not a big deal. Once he comes to Krishna consciousness, all those bad habits will go away. But even after coming to devotional service, the problem is this bugs of pride, envy, ego, they don't go. ये प्राइड बड़ी डीप रूटेड है हमारे अंदर। हमको लगता है हमको आता है ना, मेरा डेजिग्नेशन इतना है, मैं भी तो बहुत महान हूँ। These are inherent in us. These are the weeds that we need to pluck out slowly as we advance in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise ये हमारा, they will choke up our spiritual life. जैसे वीड हो जाए अगर, तो क्या होता है, जो मेन जो बीज है वो उग ही नहीं पाता, बिकॉज दे टेक ऑल द नरिशमेंट, सब खाद पानी वो ले लेते हैं। तो इसीलिए these are called anarthas. And then there is another category which is called aparad. Aparad is even more dangerous than anarth. Aparad मतलब, like if we do guru aparad, seva aparad, naam aparad, वैष्णव अपराध, ऐसे अपराध होते हैं बहुत सारे, है ना। जैसे अगर समझो हम कोई वैष्णव को ऑफेंड कर दें, तो फिर ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है एक्चुअली, देन आवर स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ गेट्स कंप्लीटली डिस्ट्रॉयड, क्योंकि कृष्णा डज नॉट लाइक समबडी ऑफेंडिंग हिज डिवोटीज, क्योंकि कृष्णा लव्स हिज डिवोटीज सो मच ना। तो और उसमें भी गुरु अपराध, गुरु इज वेरी डियर टू कृष्णा, तो वैष्णव अपराध में भी टॉप मोस्ट गुरु अपराध है ना। नाम अपराध है, जब हम जप कर रहे हैं और इधर उधर मन जा रहा है और हम लोग अच्छे से नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, वी डोंट हैव द प्रॉपर मूड व्हाइल चैंटिंग, तो नाम अपराध होते हैं। तो दीज ऑल्सो चोक अवर डिवोशनल सर्विस। तो इनको 10 नाम अपराध होते हैं, उनको केयरफुली अवॉइड करना चाहिए भक्तों ने जब हम जब भी करें। इससे क्या होगा फिर, देन वी विल बी एबल टू प्रोग्रेस वेरी क्विकली टुवर्ड्स कृष्णा। ठीक है, तो ये अच्छा बुरा, बुरा भी कृष्ण कर रहे हैं, अच्छा भी कृष्ण कर रहे हैं, नहीं, कृष्ण नहीं कर रहे हैं, कृष्ण ने बस इंग्रेडिएंट्स दिए हैं, वो फिर लोग कर रहे हैं। फ्री विल भगवान ने जो दी है, कृष्णा नेवर इंटरफेयर्स, है ना। जैसे भगवान ने गाय बनाई, किस लिए बनाई, ताकि जो गाय की सेवा करे ही विल गेट प्यूरिफाइड, और गाय का दूध पी सकते हैं हम उसको घास खिला के, है ना। भगवान ने वो बनाई है टेक्नोलॉजी, है ना। और उसके साथ रह करके वी कैन लिव अ वेरी पीसफुल सेटिस्फाइड लाइफ। बट अब कुछ लोग हैं जो कहेंगे अरे गाय आ गई, चलो इसको काटो, इसको खाओ। देखो गाय वही है, लोग भी वही है, ईविल क्या है फिर इसमें, है ना। ये ईविल टेंडेंसीज जो है, ये नहीं भगवान ने बनाई, ये हमारे डिजायर, भगवान ने इंग्रेडिएंट्स दिए हैं बस, क्योंकि हम लोगों का डिजायर था कि हम कृष्ण से दूर जाएं, इसलिए भगवान ने ये पूरा मटेरियल वर्ल्ड बनाया है इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स। बट अगर हम वही चीज सही से यूज करें इन अलाइनमेंट विद कृष्णा, व्हाट ही वांट्स अस टू डू, वी विल गो बैक टू कृष्णा। और अगर हम नहीं करेंगे और आसुरिक वृत्ति पे अपने काम करेंगे, तो 16 चैप्टर में भगवान ने बोला है, क्षिपामि अजस्रम अशुभान आसुरिशेषु योनिषु, तो वो भी फिर भगवान ने बनाया, वो लॉ भी है। वी कैन नॉट run away from whatever we do instigated by our free will. So first thing is we have to align free will with Krishna, then we have to practice, and then we can go out of this material world.
What can be the proper use of tamas? Like अगर किसी में तमस बहुत है, वो भी भगवान ने ही बनाया है, तो
हाँ अल्केश जी बोलो, जवाब दो।
Proper use of tamas to come out from tamas, I think that's so better not to be in tamas mood, है ना। तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मतलब हम तमस से तो आपको लाइट में तो आना चाहिए। तमस इज बिकॉज ऑफ आवर maybe the past life or whatever you can say, the bad karmas, we are in a tamas. तो तमस
जैसे जो वो like why I'm asking is चंद्रेश is saying कि हम अच्छा बुरा कर रहे हैं, है ना, भगवान नहीं कर रहे, लेकिन अगर तमस है ही मेरे पास तो मैं तो खराब ही करूंगा।
हाँ, बट तमस से दूर जाने का ना, तमस से दूर जाने के लिए हमको स्पिरिचुअल स्क्रिप्चर्स पढ़ने का है ना, आपको डिवोटी के साथ डिवोशन करने का है, देन वी विल कम आउट ऑफ द तमस। तमस का बेस्ट यूज तो मुझको तो कोई खास नहीं दिखा। चंदू तुम्हें पता है तमस का, मुझको तो नहीं कुछ यूज दिख रहा है।
जैसे कहा गया है, एक कहा गया है कि
हरे
आई एम नॉट
कृष्ण।
कंप्लीटली यूजलेस, आई कैन बी यूज्ड एज अ बैड एग्जांपल। तो आई थिंक उस टाइप का भी
देखो तमोगुण, देखो सतोगुण तमोगुण रजोगुण तीनों की हमको जरूरत है। देखो तमोगुण रात का टाइम है ना, रात को रेस्ट भी चाहिए कि नहीं हमको, हम सो जाते हैं। अगर रेस्ट नहीं करेंगे तो हमारा सैनिटी कैसे रहेगा, है ना। उसका भी यूज है, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बिल्कुल कंप्लीटली यूजलेस है कि नहीं। जैसे कई बार बहुत दुख हो जाता है तो हम सो जाते हैं, तो हम भूल जाते हैं दुख, तो फॉरगेटफुलनेस इज आल्सो गुड, है ना। ऐसा नहीं है फॉरगेटफुलनेस हमेशा खराब ही है, फॉरगेटफुलनेस ऑफ कृष्णा इज बैड, क्योंकि वो देन वी रिमेन इटर्नली इन द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, फिर उसमें क्या है कि हम मिजरीज झेलते हैं। बट तमोगुण हैज इट। अच्छा आप मुझे बताओ, जैसे आपको दांत में दर्द हुआ, रूट कैनाल कराना है, तो सबसे पहले वो डॉक्टर क्या करता है, सीधे रूट कैनाल करता है, क्या करता है,
वो सेडेटिव्स वगैरह कुछ देगा।
एनेस्थीसिया देगा। एनेस्थीसिया क्या है, तमोगुण है, तमस है, उसके बिना कैसे काम होगा। तो वो एनेस्थीसिया भी चाहिए हमको, बट एनेस्थीसिया के साथ एंटीबायोटिक भी चाहिए, दोनों चाहिए। अगर कोई कहे नहीं बस एनेस्थीसिया लगा के छोड़ दो, वो भी ठीक नहीं है, एनेस्थीसिया लगा के ट्रीट करो। तो जैसे अगर बहुत पेन हो रहा है तो आप कुछ भी नहीं कर पाओगे, तो पेन से बचने के लिए पेन किलर, वो तमोगुण है, बट फिर उसको ठीक करने के लिए एंटीबायोटिक भी लेना है ना, तो दोनों चीज चाहिए। तो वो एंटीबायोटिक क्या है, वो भगवान की कथा है, ये सब है। तो तमोगुण, रजोगुण, सतोगुण इन एंड ऑफ इट सेल्फ ये अच्छे बुरे नहीं है, इनको आप कैसे यूज करें उस पर डिपेंड करता है ना। जैसे कोई भक्त है, वो बेचारा सो रहा है, काम करके आया 6 घंटा सो करके, वो इसलिए सो रहा है क्योंकि सुबह उठ के जप करेगा, तो वो तो तमोगुण को भगवान की सेवा के लिए यूज कर रहा है। जैसे अब अर्जुन है, भीम है, ये तुम्हारे हनुमान जी हैं, जब उन्होंने राक्षसों को मारा तो सतोगुण पे, और सतोगुण में थोड़ी नहीं मारा होगा थोड़ा रजोगुण तो चाहिए ना, थोड़ा एंगर चाहिए, थोड़ा लड़ाई करने के लिए थोड़ा एक्शन तो चाहिए, तो वो रजोगुण को कृष्ण की सेवा में यूज किया। तो
पॉजिटिव
भक्त जो है वो एनर्जी, ये एनर्जीज हैं, सतोगुण रजोगुण तमोगुण, भिन्ना में प्रकृति राष्ट्रदा, भगवान की एनर्जी है वो। तो उसको जब भगवान से कनेक्ट कर दो तो इट बिकम्स लिबरेटिंग, इट इज नॉट बाइंडिंग देम। ठीक है अभिषेक,
ये सही है।
ठीक है।
ये हमको सब कुछ यूज करना है भगवान की सेवा में। ठीक है, जैसे किसी का नेचर ही है, अगर वो बहुत रजोगुणी है, तो क्या वो भक्ति नहीं कर सकता? इस कंसेप्ट से तो भक्ति नहीं कर पाएगा। अगर रजोगुण, किसी में तमोगुण ज्यादा है समझो, है ना, वो हो सकता है कि रात को जगता हो और थोड़ा उल्टा सीधा खाता हो, तो पर उसमें थोड़े डिवोशनल इंक्लिनेशन है, तो आप ये थोड़ी कहोगे अरे तू तो तमोगुणी है, नहीं तू नहीं जप कर सकता, है ना। भक्ति के लिए कोई भी क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं है, इनफैक्ट जितना डिस्क्वालिफाइड हो उतना भक्ति की क्वालिफिकेशन है ना। तो इसलिए उस केस में हम क्या कहेंगे कि चल ठीक है, आपका ये तमोगुण, जब हम भक्ति, आप तमोगुण में है सतोगुण में है, दैट डज नॉट मैटर, यू मेक हिम स्टार्ट चैंटिंग। जितना वो जैसे जैसे हरिनाम भगवान के भक्तों के संग आएगा, हरि कथा के संग में आएगा, देखो हरिनाम का ये स्वरूप है, हरि कथा का ये स्वरूप है, जैसे हर चीज का एक स्वरूप होता है। जैसे आग है, आग का स्वरूप क्या है? दैट यू नो
Heat,
दैट यू
heat.
कैन नॉट टेक अवे फ्रॉम फायर। फायर में अगर कोई हाथ डाल दे तो उसका हाथ जलेगा कि नहीं? अब
Of
फायर
course.
ये पूछेगी क्या कि तुमने जानबूझ के डाला कि जान के डाला कि नहीं डाला, कोई बच्चा है कि बड़ा है, कुत्ता है, बिल्ली है, अमेरिकन है, इंडियन है, हिंदू है, मुस्लिम है, फायर में अगर हाथ डाल दिया तो वो हाथ जलेगा आपको।
हाँ।
ऐसे ही भगवान के गुण रूप नाम लीला का नेचर है, जैसे ही जीव इनके टच में आता है, ही बिकम्स प्यूरिफाइड, ही बिकम्स ब्लिसफुल, ही स्लोली स्लोली लीव्स हिज ओल्ड बैड हैबिट, सारे वो उसमें, और अच्छे गुण प्रकट होने लगे। ये भगवान का स्वरूप शक्ति है, इसमें हमारा कोई लेना देना नहीं है। बस हम जीप से अगर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे करें, ऑटोमेटिकली दैट एनर्जी इज एक्टिंग, बिकॉज वी आर गेटिंग इन टच विद दैट हरिनाम। तो इसमें हमारा कोई गुण दोष नहीं है, वो भगवान के नाम का प्रभाव है कि द जीव बिकम्स प्योर। जितना भी वो तमोगुण हो, रजोगुण हो, सतोगुण हो, कुछ भी हो, गंगा जी में तुम अगर डुबकी लगाओगे तो तुम में कितनी भी गंदगी हो, तुम साफ हो जाओगे। ठीक है, तो ये रजोगुण, तमोगुण, सतोगुण, ये तीनों गंदगी है मटेरियल वर्ल्ड की, बट इसको सफाई करने का तरीका क्या है? हरि नाम, हरि कथा, हरि भक्त, हरि प्रसाद, भगवान का प्रसाद। भगवान के नाम गुण लीला रूप कीर्तन के टच में आते ही हम निर्मल होने लग जाते हैं, प्योर होने लग जाते हैं, ब्लिसफुल होने लग जाते हैं। बस यही है और कुछ नहीं। ठीक है, तो भक्त जो है उनको पता है कि ये गुणा वर्तंत इति एव क्या है, गुणा वर्तंत इति एव न धारेन, गुणा गुणेशु वर्तंत इति मत्वा न धारेन, है ना। उसको, भक्त को पता है गुण ही गुण में चल रहे हैं, कुछ भी अच्छा बुरा नहीं है, ये तो सोल है ये। जो जैसे कोई अगर मीट खा रहा है, तो हमको ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत घृणा करनी चाहिए, अरे मीट खा रहा है क्या है, ठीक है, सुपरफिशियल घृणा तो ठीक है, चलो मीट तो उतना अच्छी चीज नहीं है, बट उस जीव से हमको घृणा नहीं करनी चाहिए। वी शुड से दैट ये तमोगुण में है, तमोगुण के प्रभाव में, है ना। जैसे कोई अगर दारू पी के बहुत बक रहा है, तो हम थोड़ा नहीं ध्यान देते हैं उस पर, ठीक है, कुछ प्रभाव में है, तो ऐसे ही
राइट।
गुणों के प्रभाव में जीव जो है उल्टी सीधी हरकतें करता है, बट जीव इज ऑलवेज प्योर। तो जो भक्त है वो जीव को देखता है अच्छा, और भगवान का देखता है, और वो कहता है इसको कैसे मैं भगवान से कनेक्ट कर सकता हूँ। एक बार ये भगवान से कनेक्ट हो गया तो ये छोड़ देगा अपने ये गुणों के प्रभाव जो है, इसके जो निकृष्ट या फिर जो लोअर टेंडेंसीज है बिकॉज ऑफ कनेक्शन विद द मोड्स, वो अपने आप छूट जाएगा जैसे ही भगवान से कनेक्ट हुआ।
हम लोग भी जब बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते थे तो सबसे ज्यादा बुक्स उधर जाते थे जहाँ पे जो कि ड्रिंकिंग एरिया होता था। तो भगवद गीता वो लोग वो लोग थोड़ा सा थोड़ा सा ड्रिंक करते तो उनको अंदर थोड़ा या फिर थोड़ा सा गिल्ट फीलिंग होता था। ढूंढते थे किधर से क्रैक करे, तो बुक्स उनको भगवत गीता दे देते थे, they become very happy, हो कुछ तो अच्छा हुआ, and they give the good.
हाँ, इसलिए बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बड़ी अच्छी सेवा है। बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जब आप करते हो ना, आजकल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का महीना चल रहा है, मैराथन। इसमें क्या है, आप ये तीनों मोड्स का खेल देखते हो। कुछ लोग होते हैं जो कहते हैं अरे भगवत गीता किधर है, दे दो। हाँ, मैं तो आपको ढूंढ रहा था, वो सतोगुण है। कुछ होते हैं रजोगुण, है ना, वो भागने का प्रयास करते हैं जल्दी, अरे भगवत गीता मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, है ना, है ना, ऐसा लोग कहते हैं। और कुछ होता है तमोगुण, जो कहेंगे कि नहीं नहीं क्या है, ये तो किसी काम का नहीं है, और है ना। तो हर तरह के लोग हम देखते हैं। जैसे कई बार मैं एक दो बार डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने गया, तो मुस्लिम लोग आते थे, मुस्लिम, और कहते थे अरे हम तो मुस्लिम है। तो अब थोड़ा 10 मिनट बात करते थे उनसे, तो उनको भी लगता था हाँ यार बात तो ये ठीक ही कह रहे हैं। फिर वो चले जाते थे, है ना, चले जाते थे, और फिर आते थे 20 मिनट बाद कि अरे वो दे दो मुझे बुक आप। वो मतलब वो 10 मिनट वो सोचते थे कि ये क्या बात हुई, क्या वार्तालाप हुई, है ना। तो ये देखो कितना उसके लिए एक बड़ी चीज है नहीं। भगवत गीता वो लेके गए, पढ़ा नहीं पढ़ा ठीक है, एटलीस्ट उन्होंने सोचा तो सही कि हाँ माइट बी हेल्पफुल। दैट इटसेल्फ इज अ ग्रेट सुकृति फॉर देम। ये तो भगवत गीता तो इट्स लाइक अ नेक्टर, है ना, जो भी इसके टच में आ गया, भले ही थोड़ी देर के लिए, जैसे आग का मैंने एग्जांपल दिया, आग में 1 सेकंड के लिए भी उंगली चली गई तो जल गई हो, बट टू स्पीक ऑफ आधा घंटा चली गई तब तो वो आग ही बन जाएगी, है ना। तो हमको किसी ना किसी तरह से जीव को भगवान के गुण रूप नाम लीला भक्त इन सब के टच में लाना है, यही प्रचार है और कुछ नहीं है प्रचार। और यही बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। अच्छा, बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चल रहा है, किसी को अगर भागवत किसी के घर में नहीं है तो वो आपको लेना चाहिए भागवत। कुछ कुछ लोगों ने पिछले साल लिया था, इस साल भी हमारा मैराथन आ गया है, तो घर में हम लोग डिलीवर कर देंगे। भागवतम भगवान का, है ना, मंत्र फॉर्म है, तो वो जरूर सबके घर में होना चाहिए भागवत। अगर यहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ सबके पास है, तो अपने दोस्तों को बोलो, अपने फैमिलीज के घर में रखो, भागवतम जरूर रखना चाहिए। इट्स द मोस्ट ऑस्पिशियस बुक्स, नॉन डिफरेंट देन कृष्णा। मैं इसका मैसेज डालूंगा एक अभी ग्रुप में। हाँ अल्केश जी, सॉरी, अभी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका अल्केश जी, आपने बहुत बढ़िया से समझाया।
धन्यवाद।
और क्रिएशन का लगता है आपने अभी अभी पढ़ा है ये सब, प्रधान महत्त्व और ये सब।
तो मेरे को क्रिएशन और डिस्ट्रक्शन में बहुत इंटरेस्ट है मेरा को। ये बना कैसे भाई, अभी तो पहले पता चले। पहले बात तो अच्छा लगता है, मतलब एटलीस्ट पता चलता है कि भाई कैसे बना, तो माइंड थोड़ा क्लियर रहता है।
तो ये है कि क्रिएशन हुआ है, ये इवोल्यूशन, डार्विन वार्विन सबको आउट ऑफ द विंडो फेंकना है हमको, है ना। एक साथ सबका क्रिएशन हुआ है, ऐसा नहीं हुआ है कि कुत्ता बिल्ली बना है, बिल्ली गधा बनी है, गधा बैट बना है, बैट से बियर बना है, बियर से सांप बना है। ये सब बेवकूफी की कथाएं हैं जो इन लोगों ने फैलाई हैं, डार्विन वार्विन लोगों ने, है ना। हमारी जो सृष्टि है वो भगवान, बीजो माम सर्वभूता नाम, बीज से पेड़ बनता है ना। भगवान इज द ओरिजिनल इम्पेरिशेबल सीड। ही हैज गिवन दैट नॉलेज टू ब्रह्मा। ब्रह्मा हैज क्रिएटेड 8.4 मिलियन स्पीशीज। ठीक है, ये नॉलेज है, ये चेंज नहीं होती विद टाइम। चलो सब लोग जप करो, जैसे मैंने बोला हरिनाम फायर की तरह है, हमको फायर के टच में रहना है तो हम गर्म रहेंगे, वरना मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ठंडे हो जाएंगे। ठंडा नहीं होना हमको, है ना, ब्लड सर्कुलेशन भी रुक जाता है ठंडा। तो हरिनाम करते रहो, और फिर अगले हफ्ते मिलते हैं। और मैं मैसेज करता हूँ, अगर किसी के घर वालों को भागवतम चाहिए, एक सेट भागवतम का जरूर, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी, हर लैंग्वेज में है, चाहिए तो जरूर उसको घर में रखना चाहिए।
मैं भी
भागवतम
बोलता
घर में होना चाहिए, तुलसी देवी घर में होनी चाहिए, और कृष्ण भगवान या गौर निताई के विग्रह या फोटोज घर में होनी चाहिए। ये 3 चीजें, और प्रभुपाद जी का फोटो, ये 3-4 चीजें जरूर घर में होनी चाहिए एस्पायरिंग वैष्णवास के। वैष्णवा का मतलब ही पता है, एक शास्त्र में वैष्णव का मतलब ही है कि उसके पास भागवतम होना चाहिए। ये डेफिनेशन है वैष्णव की, वन ऑफ द डेफिनेशन, वन ऑफ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स। क्योंकि भागवतम वैष्णवों के लिए ही है ग्रंथ, और किसी के लिए नहीं है। ये ज्ञानवादियों के लिए, तपस्वियों के लिए, ध्यान योगियों के लिए नहीं है, ये भक्तों के लिए। ठीक है, हरे कृष्णा। अलकेश जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका।
धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा कृष्णा
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
कृष्णा
हरे
हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की
जय हो।
जय जय।